Okay, so I realize that I'm having trouble recalling information from my brain, forgetting words. Not necessarily forgetting, but not being able to recall. I fully know the word I'm looking for. I know that I have it retained, and I just can't grab onto it. Another piece of information of this problem is that, um, like, if I start talking as I am right now, in the beginning the words will flow out better, and then they'll increasingly get harder to recall from my brain as I move through ideas and as I build on whatever logic it is that I'm talking about, as I flow on to other topics throughout that changing logic, building on top of a coherent um, writing, if you will. It gets harder for me to find or select the right words. It could also be that I'm overly trying to select the perfect word to explain myself. Although, doesn't everybody want to select the most appropriate word for what they're trying to express? Of course, that would be the 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 best goal in communication, is to be concise, to explain yourself in detail, succinctly, using perfectly placed words. That is the goal of communication and speaking. Um, Another way that I was able to visualize this problem that I'm having is that it's like my head is a coconut, and the information is the juice inside the coconut. And to extract that juice, I need a straw. And the straw that I'm sucking from to extract that information is too small, it's too narrow. And I'm just not able to pick up enough of that information. And the more that I want that information, the harder it gets, and the more overly loaded the straw becomes, and the pressure in that straw gets too high for it to suck anymore, and it's hard to continue with my thought process. It's like that's my problem. It's that recall function on my brain is faltering, and I don't know what it could be. I mean, I could think many things of why it is. I mean, the most scary reason that it could be is that I have something like Alzheimer's, or what my mother has, which I have a 50% chance of inheritance, which is Huntington's disease. I have a 50% chance of inheritance of Huntington's disease, and that's a terminal brain degenerative disease. And although I did read a book on brain science, and it said even people that had Alzheimer's were never diagnosed because they didn't have um, horrible symptoms, and they were able to live their lives without detection, just because these people were multifaceted learners. And the way that the author explained that, it was that these are people who, he said, built bridges in their brain. They didn't overly rely on, say, mathematics. Like someone who gets a PhD in mathematics and gets hired as a mathematician and only use mathematics as brain, um, his main brain function. Those people are phenomenal because they can do things that a normal person couldn't. And of course, we need those people. But the problem is, if they ever have the misfortune to inherit a brain degenerative disease, and that degeneration um, destroys the part of the brain that deals with mathematics, these people are left with nothing because they overly invested in one thought process. And so they don't have bridges to go around. They only had one big, huge bridge that was able to deliver phenomenally, which is so impressive to other people around. But to the person themselves, if they're in a problem like that, they're the ones who are more susceptible to becoming leveled, their complete livelihoods destroyed, and unable to um, bounce back from something like Alzheimer's or Huntington's. And I think that's my saving grace, because I do know that I am a jack of trades. That's, if there's anything I can say about my skill set, is that I can do many, many things, and I can learn many things real quickly. Never specialize, but I can do that, and that's what I'm focusing on now. Is just to keep building bridges in my brain. I almost feel like I'm already there, where I have to continually build bridges if I just to keep up with whatever I lose. I need to gain. So every day I need to learn more and to replace and to replenish my brain. And it would be amazing if I could even overcome it. I almost feel like there's a weight on top of me where I just need to find a way to focus in on where my troubles are, and if I could remedy that trouble, maybe I could even break away and feel a eureka, a wonderful rush of awakening, mind awakening, and just that bewildering feeling of pure information on your, which I do feel moments of that, even having a child lately. I feel like there's moments. Hi guys. Now that I have a child, I feel like there's moments where I experience with my child those same childhood memories that you have, like just absorbing a scenery, and knowing that scenery, that experience of that, just the way the light is hitting on a beach on an early morning, and the surrounding and the horizon and the sand and your feet, and the awesome experience of a new experience surrounding yourself is going to be burned into your consciousness, your blueprinting. That's going to be something that is a cornerstone of your brain that you'll always have, and to look back on, and I love those moments. I feel like those moments are just enthralling. I think that's a lot of the reason that Americans do so many drugs, and with also probably why humans in general like to consume, because it gives you that burst of experience. But I think it definitely can be done naturally, and so I'm sure that, see, the older you get, there's the balance, is that the older you get, the more it has to be done naturally. When you're young, you can get away with disturbing the balance of your body and getting high off of it. But when you get older, you might still be able to get high off of consuming large amounts of a quantity, but then you have to process that chemical in your body, which then the next day gives you a hangover, which in repetition and in habit will ultimately just kill you, and render your daily life boring, and you'll just be eroding the beauty of living. So drugs gotta go, and health has to come back in, and we have to, and so I know that's also part of this equation that we're dealing with, all of us. So I'll leave it there. Cheers.